Wow. Thank you. Unbelievable. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you too. I love you too. All right. You guys are amazing. You're all amazing. I love you too. Thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I want to thank my dear family. I want to thank Tina and Gianna and Alex and Gregory and Justin. I want to thank everybody who has been out on the trail with me, because this is all about family. Now we don't know the outcome, obviously, yet, but I'm happy to You guys are really pumped up. Wow. I love you guys. So we don't know the outcome yet, but I'm happy to say that we're starting out strong and we're a couple thousand votes ahead, and that's a good thing. Let me tell you why I feel so good. There are days in my life that I count as my happiest. Some of those days, and one of the most important, was the day that Tina said she would marry me. Another important day of my life is when we got married. And then the others were when each of our kids were born. All those days related to family, and that's the way I feel tonight. The wonderful thing I never knew as a candidate when you're running for mayor is that you develop a larger family along the way. The people that you would never have met in communities, because we've all come together for a cause, and that's a very uplifting thing. So let me talk about that for just a moment, and then we'll get back to the party. All of you came up to the top of this parking deck. You could look out over, and depending on which way you look, you'll see Century City, you'll see downtown, you'll see the Hollywood sign, or you can look over the hills and you can see the valley. All those big buildings stand out. But in my mind, what I see are the neighborhoods that are between those buildings and beyond them. All those twinkling lights out there represent people going about their lives. I see those lights and I think of the Black and the Latino communities. I think of the Filipino community, the Armenian community, the Persian community, the Chinese, the Korean, the Italian, the Thai. All right. I also see the Jewish community that we love, the LGBTQI community that we love. I have fallen in love with all of you. I think about the events I've attended, and the great thing about being a candidate for mayor, which I've never done before in my life, is, believe it or not, you get to go in parades. And I was in the Korean parade, and I was the Grand Marshal, and I went down the street, the Mexican Independence Parade. The Latino community I love too. And let me tell you, after I got the great endorsement from the fire department, I was riding on a fire truck, and I saw this little restaurant as we were going up the street. And as we were going up the street, it was a little taco stand, and it had Caruso for mayor all around it. The name of the restaurant is Ciabalatino. And Evelyn owns it. We pulled over. The dearest woman in the world. And her food was amazing. As I left, we hugged. I have spent my days going around this great city of ours, hugging people and being hugged back. I've met members of this community that are so amazing. I met Thomas Delgado, whose family for 4 generations have been making guitars in Boyle Heights. That's where my grandparents immigrated to. This morning when we went out to vote in Boyle Heights, we stopped by. All right, guys. We're not going to get to the bar if we keep doing this. Although I love it. All right, just give me a minute now. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. So this morning we stopped by the house that my grandparents immigrated to. It's a little 3-plex. They were in a 2-bedroom with 3 boys. We went there before we voted because we wanted to stand at a place and remind ourselves how humble our roots are. To be so grateful as a family. To be so grateful as people. And it also reminded us of who we're fighting for. There are so many lights out there. All the lights of the people living through this city, but one of those lights out there is Lawanda's home. Lawanda lost a child to gang violence. Lawanda's here tonight, and she is a light herself. She started an organization called Justice for Murdered Children. I cannot think of a more truthful, penetrating, heartbreaking name for an organization. Lawanda will tell you that she prays that there are no more members of her organization. Through Lawanda, I met mothers who have lost children who have been killed. So looking over those lights tonight, there are many things I see. We have a city full of life, which means both joy and sometimes sadness. Over the last 9 months, I have seen the greatness and the humanity of our incredible city. I have met the most kind, the most hardworking, the most inspiring people that I have ever met. They get up every morning and do the best they can do for themselves and their families. And what I was struck by, nobody ever complained. They never dwelled on the negative, they never dwelled on the difficult, and they never dwelled on their hardships. They talked about their hopes for the future. And yes, they worried about crime, they worried about the homeless living on the streets, they worried about the education their children were getting. They wondered if they could ever afford a home. And yes, at times, life scares them. But here's the thing. They believe that life can be different, that it can be better. They believe that Los Angeles is where dreams come true, just like my grandparents when they came here. And so do all of we, which is why we're here tonight. And that's why I decided to run for mayor in the first place. Everybody deserves their chance at the American dream. So we have important work to do. We have dreams of a better life to make come true for so many. And I come here tonight in full anticipation and excitement about what is to come and what we can do together. But let me tell you, and I'll wrap this up in a minute, I believe in you too. 60 years ago, I sat next to my grandfather in his gardening truck, and through that windshield, I saw the city of Los Angeles. Now I see the city of Los Angeles through the eyes of Angelinos, who are loving, dear, humble, and hardworking. Families who are hopeful but tired of feeling unsafe. tired of feeling unheard. This election has always been about those that have been felt left behind and unheard. Well, let me tell you, I hear you, and change will happen. I love you guys. I'm going to bring this to a close, but I hear one of my all-time favorite ladies. Where's Sweet Alice? Serving the community for 40 years. There she is, Sweet Alice. There's a great song that we all love called I Love L.A. It's very upbeat. It's exactly how I feel about Los Angeles. And as my son said on that incredible video that my son Greg made, we turned into a commercial. And this is his quote. And although at times we've been disheartened by the nature of politics, the baseless, untrue attacks in search of victory, not values, more than anything, we've been inspired by the good, the decent, hard-working people of Los Angeles. And I will tell you, when you meet them, and you have, you will feel good about LA. You could not help but have hope for the future. So to all of those who I have met, to all of the communities that have welcomed me into their homes, into their dining room, shared a meal, embraced me and my family, I thank you for your belief in me and this city.
Well, surrounded by his family, that was real estate developer Rick Caruso in high spirits giving an election night speech tonight from the Grove.